It never ceases to amaze me how everyone else in society can be deceitful, immoral, manipulative, and deceptive. And the moment that Black people decide to have an ounce of emotion, an ounce of retaliation against racial terrorism, we are told to uphold a standard of divinity, damn near. To just allow you to beat us and bombard us every single day. It seems like it's every single day that this continues to go on. We've been raised to believe that we have to be the bigger person. We have to be the first one to accept an apology when that person didn't apologize. We have Black people who are being killed and gunned down in the streets and family members forgiving and they didn't ask for forgiveness. When are we ever going to decide to step back for a second and stop being the bigger person? So I can't help but feel like I'm being targeted when I see tweets like this. I can't help but feel like this individual, whether this was his intent or not, I feel like he is trying to gauge my morality as a Black person. And I'm sorry, but not sorry when I say that in response to this, if the roles were reversed, would you still be quiet? I would. My conquerors are staying quiet in the actual situation. And so therefore, I will in this particular example. If anything, right now, being the better person, that's not the way to go. It sounds cute. It sounds poetic for you to just be loving and caring and just leave it in God's hands. It sounds good, but we don't have time for that. We've never actually had time for that. But we have now an opportunity to where we're seeing this happen. We're seeing the history. People are educating themselves. And we're seeing reality for what it is. Don't let them try your morality. Don't back down. There is nothing wrong with having a sense of pride for self, a sense of self-preservation for your existence, for your people, for your family. There is no shame in that. They don't have it, so you should not exhibit that for yourself. For far too long, they've been telling us that we need to put our needs second and putting them first. Their feelings need to be always considered. But this is not the time for niceties. This is not the time for that type of compassion. If anything, we need to start redirecting that compassion towards each other. This is a time where people have lost their jobs. People are waiting on unemployment benefits. Some are not. Some are essential workers risking their lives on the front lines. We have not forgotten. I haven't forgotten. The coronavirus is still going on and it's still impacting lives globally. We don't know what tomorrow will bring, but those who fail the first time are doomed to repeat it. And it looks like we're about to repeat the same mistakes that our ancestors keep making. We think that by having mercy, compassion, and kindness towards our captors is somehow going to alleviate the fact that we are in this situation now, today, 2,000 years after the fact. I can only speak for myself, and I hold myself to a different standard, and that standard requires me to have a sense of self-preservation. I'm not just thinking about my reality. I'm thinking about the reality of my great-grandchildren, the generation in which I'm not going to be here. What reality will they be living in? What kind of society would they be participating in? I will no longer be here to influence their mindset. So I'm responsible for my mentality now as a woman who does not have children. That is my goal, is that I need to start creating a legacy for my children. And that requires me to hold a different standard, to have a different sense of morality for self-preservation. So when events like this happens, I want you to sit down and think to yourself, when you are old and gray and you're 80, do you want to still see situations like this still happen? Or do you want to see something different? We have full autonomy over our destiny. And we can choose to make the same mistakes as our ancestors and suffer the consequences of being old and gray and seeing our children being hunted in the streets. Or we can take a different route. An option of self-preservation by any means necessary. I want my people to be liberated, and I'm highly aware of the consequences and the rewards that's going to come. I understand that I'm not going to be alive when this liberation happens. If I am, that'll be awesome. But I know I won't be alive for it. So my duty is to make sure that my mind is right so that when I'm raising my children that they are able to function in the society. Anyway, thank you guys for the massive support. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.